Macaroni. La bobo. Mais macaroni, spaghetti, meatballs. Allez, 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 hop, hop, non, macaroni. La bobo. Mais macaroni, spaghetti, meatballs.
Good morning, afternoon, evening everyone, and welcome to, it's turning into weekly Managersim Phoenix series episode 10. How's everyone doing? It's been a week since the last episode and many things have happened in the world. I hope everyone is safe. Hope everyone are looking after each other. It's a frightening time in the world, but we'll remain strong. We're a great community here in Managersim, and we're all sticking together. I've obviously been through hell this week through some family reasons which I won't go into, so please excuse me for the next couple of episodes, actually for quite a while, if I'm not going to do as many episodes as I can. I'll try to do one at least once a week on Sundays, just to keep you updated what's been going on at the moment. So let's go straight to it. And the thing that's been in the big news probably this week is that Burnham warned us last week that the board are going to start making changes to your manager skill ratings and levels and stuff like that, and now that's happening. He gave a warning to everyone, so basically everyone, if you start getting warnings from your board saying you've got too many unhappy players in various positions, then please take note. If you don't do anything about it, you will eventually get the sack. I know some people got different views and judgments about this way the board deal with it. Maybe the board are too harsh, especially for new players. But there's a good discussion thread going on in the Facebook group at the moment, so please go and look at it and make some discuss what you want to do about it and stuff like that. I personally think the board are too strict at times. I think there's better ways of warning managers before they get the sack, but we'll see how it goes, see how what happens in the future. But that's that's the board discussions on the Managersim Soccer Sim board on the Facebook group. We'll now go over to the Youth Academy top 10 just to give you the latest scores on the doors. Just making sure I click the right button. There we go. Top 10 Youth Academies as from the tick that just happened, which is 29th December 2018. We're going to have a look and see what the current top 10 is. So again, I'm just pressing my buttons here, make sure everything's all right. Yep. So we go. Basically, there's sort of like a rating system that I get from Burnham, and it's measured from sort of like 0.0 right up to 3.0. I don't know how he's calculated. I'm sure Burnham can let us know in future episodes. So currently 10th place with a 0.36 rating, Youth Academy rating. We go to, oops, wrong button there. We go to England. England's featured a lot in this, and it's Leeds United, currently in the Championship and currently in 7th place under the managership of Roland. They're currently 10th at the moment. We're quickly going to have a look at their players, and you can see his youth players are building up nicely, and there's quite a few youth players coming into the first team. Again, people, you need to send me players to look at, because when I was recording this episode, I've had no new players coming in for people letting me know what they are and who they are, so I'm just making judgments again here. But as you can see here, Leeds have got quite a few decent 16, 17, 18-year-old players. That kind of gives me a clue that they're former youth players. And also the shield here, which you can just see there in black, kind of gives it away as well. So Roland's doing really well there. So Leeds are currently 10th. In 9th place with 0.37 rating, it's in Turkey. And we go to a side I cannot even pronounce, but they're top of the table in Turkey at the moment. And that's his Thomas's side here. And you can see there, he's got some good youths coming through. And good 16, 17-year-olds. Again, people in slow time, you can always go back into the game and look at these more detail than me. I do know that the last episode was over 40 minutes long, so this is going to be much shorter, hopefully. So I'm just going through this quite quickly. In 8th place, we go to Switzerland and St. Gallen who are currently top of the table in Switzerland, the only team there, under Diogo. And that's his players at the moment. So you can see there he's got 17, 18-year-olds in, not so many as other sides. We go now to 7th place and back to the UK and back to England with Birmingham with 0.389. And it's Birmingham City who are currently in the Championship, and they're currently 6th, just above Leeds actually, under Eric. And there's his squad, some 18, 19-year-olds, there's some 17-year-olds, and you can see his youth team are pretty decent there. 6th place, we go all the way to the Faroe Islands again with a 0.46 rating, so a little bit of a jump there to 0.7, the team 0.7. Death Fridge, probably one of the best names in the game. And of course, youth players will probably play a lot more games in the Faroe Islands because the quality of their players are a lot lower. So I'm sure a lot of his youth players will actually play a lot more games, and some of these will progress quite well, I guess. So we go into the top 5, and we go to Italy, and the side currently top of Serie B, or second, sorry, in Serie B, but currently unbeaten as well. Andre's side, and they got a rating of 0.47. And if we look here, they got some really good youth players coming through there. Yeah, he's gonna play a lot. Italy is always known to have very good youths. No matter what Italian side you join, you generally get a lot better youth players in that country. 4th place, we go to Germany and Borussia Dortmund under the manage of Eric. We'll go around the leagues again later and see who's winning what. Eric with a rating of 0.48, and you can see their side, very compact side of 28 players, with a youth academy of only 12 players, but look at that, wow. Timo Pfeiffer. Now, Pfeiffer, I know from the top youth players, is not actually in our top players list, so this is one completely out of the blue that we've just found, but you can see he's probably going to be a wonder kid, as they call in Football Manager. We will go through the top youth players, but there's various ways we've done that. Andre's done that for me. But wow, that is a massive find. So this player, I think, is going to be a giant of a player for many seasons to come. So you've got a great player there. 3rd place, we go to Turkey and Galatasaray, who are currently 2nd in the table there, under Ersin. And we just look at his players quickly. Yeah, he's got some really good youth players coming through there, and he's got some 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds who are featured in here as well. Again, I'm not going to go through real detail of these players because I just wasn't told about which players to look at and stuff like that. So we will just have a quick look at them right now. And we go to 2nd place, and we go to England and Liverpool. Liverpool's still there. And under K's players, K's concentrating a lot on his youth players, and he's getting some really decent youth players coming through. 14 players in the academy and some really decent players there. Galatasaray 0.59, Liverpool 0.62, but way ahead with a youth academy rating of 2.4 is Germany, and it's Sandhausen. They have really jumped up the table under Rayo. You can see that world-class academy, and we'll just quickly have a look at his players. And he has got some, I'm guessing, some amazing players. It's a bit hard to see them through this list, but he's got some 16, 17, 18-year-old players coming through. So that's it. That's the top 10 youth academy. So just making sure you've seen that all right, because I always have to check just in case things go wrong. We now go to the youth players. Now, the way we're doing it is that Andres Soto, the manager of Copenhagen, he sends me the lists of top players, and this is the mail I get normally, because I have to just copy this in because I accidentally got rid of it. So just bear with me for a second. Obviously, I had things on my mind the last couple of days. This is the list he gives me, and he has done it slightly differently today. He has said, I went to every country to check their youth names articles. Some are still missing, so I took the top youths from those countries that had articles, and any youth from 16 to 18 is playing in the national team. So basically what we're looking at is these players are currently all internationals, and you can see the top one then is Enzo Michael. So let's go and have a look at Mr. Enzo Michael. And the way I've done it, because sadly the links are not working. If you remember the last episode, I could just click the link here, but sadly it's not working at the moment. So what I did do just before I started this episode is actually do the hot list of players here. So Enzo Michael, here he is. He's 8 million, 18 years old, former youth academy player, and he's now a regular Portuguese international and looking really good. So second on that list is Paul Cook from Manchester City. So we go to see Paul Cook, and of course I've saved. I keep pressing the wrong one. Go to the hot list. Paul Cook, or another defender, English international, 18 years old, a wonder kid. So he's similar to, say, Alexander Arnold is at Liverpool in the real team. So Paul Cook, he's on loan at Nimes, and yeah, he's got some really amazing stats there. Currently third place, we have got Sergej something. I can't pronounce his surname. Who's in Arsenal, and he was bought from Ural, so a former youth player, 18 years old. Arsenal. He's just started his career. I think he only just joined Arsenal about a month ago. So that's currently third in that list, and then fourth we've got Alessandro Mocca from Napoli. So let's go and have a quick look at him. There he is. He's a goalie. Napoli, full international at 17 years old. Wow. Just like that real-life keeper at Juventus, who's got that real long name I can't pronounce. So, yeah, definitely one for the future. Leader type as well, so it could be in maybe 5-6 years' time, be a future captain for a long time. Yeah, very good. So the next player we'll look at is Gianluca Gordini. Where are you? There he is. He's another goalie. And he's at Italy at Lazio. So yeah, he's looking really decent. Again, everyone, you can go back and look at this video in slow time to find these players. Jerome Akaba. Yes, I'm not going to pronounce that again. Another goalie and another Italian. Oh, no, it's French, sorry. French international. Currently playing at Birmingham, but his main club is PSG. He's got 85, yeah, another international could be around there for quite a while. We did a top 10. Clement Ricard, number 7. That's all I'm going to say. I can't even pronounce his name. Clement, where are you on my list? There you are. Striker, first striker, and at Lazio again. So Lazio are producing some really good youth players here, but they're not featured in the top 10 academy list though. So yeah, really good secondary stats here for him. And then we go to Charles Severin. A defender, a Scottish defender at Hearts. Now, one thing you might have noticed in that Youth Academy top 10 list is no Hearts or Rangers anymore. They've both dropped out of the table. In fact, Hearts are not even in the top 20 anymore. So they've dropped right out. And Rangers, where are you? You're 12th, so you're just out of the top 10. Of course, this table change, this top 10 academies always change every week, even every tick. So that's Charles Severin anyway. We'll go and do Sebastian Morhan at Hacken. So I think he's German then. Hacken, is that German? Sebastian Hacken. Oh, he's not even in my list. So I've forgotten to add one, which does happen. So we'll show you a good way of using the search engine as people have not used it before. This is what you do. So Hacken are actually Swedish. Oops, sorry. He's Swedish and they're an AI side as well. So Sebastian Moveren, is he here? Hacken, no, he's not. I don't actually see him. Okay, I won't worry about him. Let's go to the next one, which is a guy, Lemil Temirzavi. Again, I probably pronounced this all wrong. Temirzavi, there he is. And he's at Pasca SE, but he is moving to Wigan Athletic, one of the clubs who are getting a lot of these players on big club courses and stuff. He's an international, Hungarian international at 17. Again, people, it's always worth looking at the national side lists. You go to each country and then click national and then players. Here are all the players who are selected for the national side. And then worth looking at miscellaneous, because miscellaneous tells you what club they're at. If they're at no club, you can get them for free. But a lot of these clubs, like you can see Pasca SE, have got a lot of Hungarian internationals in their side. If you can always worth trying to get them. You might have to pay, for instance, this guy's worth £372,000. To get him, you might have to pay a couple of million, even more than that, more than 10 million, because it depends how they're convinced. But a lot of the time they might say, no, get lost. You're not joining us. And you can see here, in total, Hungary have got 321 players that could play for their national side. So if you go to a bigger side like England, for instance, we go to England and their players, 1,807 players to choose on. Bit of a difference there. But that's the English side, by the way. And I'm sure they've all got teams now. Yeah, all big sides as well. Okay, let's go to life in Georgia. How's my Tbilisi side doing? Generally, they are doing, I think, well. We're currently top of the table, 10 points clear now. We're definitely having a good run. We're winning most of our league games now. We've been unbeaten, I think, for about 8 games now. We've been concentrating mostly on the cups the last couple of ticks. And if you look on our fixture list, if I move down there, we're into the Georgian Cup final, which is great news. I actually played a very young side in the second leg because we were 5-0 ahead. And we've got to the third round of the UEFA Cup. I say got to the third round because this was our first real big blow. We lost to Excelsior, I think, who are based in Holland. That's it, yeah. And we lost 3-0, even though I think the result was a bit unfair there. We weren't totally outfoxed there, but we lost 3-0. But basically, my side are doing very well. Hoping for Champions League next year. We've got a few loanies in. We haven't got a really talented squad because, again, we are very low for money. We started off very low for money. We're actually burning a bit enough capital because we're actually making money every week now, which is great. Our wage bill is only 90k at the moment. We did have the big club problem. Again, with the board, if you get any of these over 7, if you get, say, 8, then you'll get board warning. So if I bought another midfielder, for instance, then I will get a board warning because that's midfield 8. When they're listed, it's take off that number. So actually, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 midfielders, but 2 of them are on the transfer list. So 9 minus 2 is 7. So that's why it's 7. All right, that's the last bit for today, for this episode. Again, thanks everyone for being patient with me. It's troubled times at the moment in the donut household, I'm afraid. I won't go into it, but thanks for all your continued support. I will do the episodes as much as I can, in probably 1 episode a week. And please continue to send me the articles. Greatly appreciated. We'll go into the international cups. In the Champions League, we're to the next group stage, and we're halfway through. Benfica and the Turkish side, Benfica, who got human manager, and Jose, they're top with this Turkish side, another human manager second, and then Celta Vigo, another human manager third, and Benares, another human manager fourth. Oh god, they're all human managers. So this is a real tight group. Anyone from this still can get through. Remember, top 2 teams go into the quarterfinals. In Group B, my Anderlecht side, it's very tight. It's going to be between Barcelona, Anderlecht, and Athletic Club. My Anderlecht side, I thought we were going to finish third, to be honest, because Athletic beat us in our first game. But then we had a bit of a shock win. We actually beat Barcelona, which I was completely shocked by because you can see the stats here. We were second place to them all the time. But hey, football's a funny old game, as they say. So we go to Group C. Atletico Madrid are top. Really good side under Chad. Bologna, who I know are a good side, are second. And then we got the 2 AI sides, third and fourth. And then Group D, Leverkusen and Borussia Dortmund. This is a really tough group, remember. Leverkusen under Burnham is top. Dortmund under Eric is second. And then you've got Arsenal under Harold at third. So yeah, it's still way too early whose side's going to get to the quarterfinals. But I think Leverkusen definitely, are almost certainly going to get there. So that's that. UEFA Cup then. We're into the third round, and this is what the third round looks like currently. My Tbilisi side obviously are probably not going to get to the next round. But it looks good for all these sides over here, including Fritz's Bournemouth. Fritz's Bournemouth. Does that mean then? Fritz made a sort of like a little joke that he's going to take Bournemouth and win the Champions League hopefully this season. As you can see, if they're in the UEFA Cup, they finished third on... Oh, geez, they finished third on goal difference. That's strange how... strange. I think Fritz asked about why Barcelona were higher now. I think it's on previous results. So Fritz did not get to the Champions League this season, but I'm sure he'll do it next season. So Fritz, I think, is going to be really good. I think he'll probably win the UEFA Cup instead. But there's some really good teams like that. Antwerp, who I know from Anderlecht, are really good. Borussia, quite a few of these sides are human managers. Bayern Munich are doing really well now in the league. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in UEFA Cup. So a quick tour around the leagues, who's going on, what's happening. England, Man United are currently top on goal difference only to AFC Bournemouth. Tottenham are third, so it's going to be between those three teams, very close at the moment. It's going to really be interesting to see how that's going to happen, what's going to happen in that. Going up, it looks like it's going to be Bristol City and Middlesbrough, and then one from those four sides. But Leeds and even Sheffield United has still got a good chance of going up. We'll go to Spain. Spain's actually got now a few teams in there. Barcelona are 5 points clear. Atletico Madrid third, and Celta Vigo there in 17th. We've got Real Zaragoza, human side, they are in 13th in the second division. We go to Germany. Leverkusen are top, 6 points clear now, so they're pulling ahead after with Burnham's side. Schalke second, Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. In second division, Sandhausen, the top youth academy side now, are on goal difference on top from Borussia Düsseldorf. And Italy, it's Milan are pulling ahead on Tiago with 57 points, 77 goals, just 11 conceded, just one defeat. Lazio, then Inter Milan and Napoli. So that's really good. Serie B, it's the same two sides at the top. It's going to be a battle between Bari and Entella. We go to Turkey. And we've seen Turkey already. It's going to be between those two teams, I think. Besiktas are still bottom of the table. Portugal. Sporting are top with a very close season so far between the top five sides. Could be any one of those top fives that could win. And yeah, I'll just go to Netherlands and Belgium. Feyenoord are top in Netherlands under manager of Mathieu. Ajax are second, PSG and Utrecht. And then in Belgium, we've lost our club route manager. He's gone over to Newcastle. But it looks like Antwerp are going to win, even at this early stage. Not much has changed. But my Anderlecht side are getting better, Stefan. I must warn you, we are getting better. We're getting some really good youngsters coming in now. My Anderlecht side are completely out of the top 20 youth academy list. We're another one that's gone past. We're not even in the top 20 anymore. And I think my Duplessis side are still in just 19th. And that's it. So this is a shorter episode 10. Thanks everyone. Episode 9, sorry. I thought it was episode 10. It's actually episode 9, isn't it? So thanks everyone for tuning in. I will do another episode when I can soon. Bye everyone.